That's good. That's good. Hey. Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. Had to groove out a little bit more this morning. Had some sound issues in the first part of this video, so no issues anymore. Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to talk about Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat is moving now into the Chinese market. If you guys are not familiar with Beyond Meat, also Impossible Meat, I believe. We're going to get a little bit familiar before we get into this product. That way you guys have some back and some understanding. Now, I'm a big advocate. I am a big buyer of Beyond Meat. I like the plant-based, but someone had said something to me. I forgot who it was. I believe it was one of my good friends, but nonetheless, they said, so you stop eating processed meat, right? Because I don't eat, I've been off of processed meat for probably about 4 years, okay? No processed meat, no potted meat. Every now and again, I'll eat maybe a bratwurst or a hot dog or something like that. Very seldom would I eat anything that is processed. But he said, well, you moved into plant-based meat, no meat but plant-based products. What do you do? What do you think they do to the meat? I was like, or to the plants. They process them. He said, exactly. So nonetheless, we're going to get into the conversation. Good morning, Charles Green. Good morning, sir. But anyway, let's move over and let's get some information. Let's get some information about these two. Good morning, brother man. Good morning, sir. So here we go. Let's learn a little bit about this, okay? So I'm going to jump down. They're saying, which one is healthier? Which one is the real thing? We're not going to get into that. We're going to get into, because again, I've cooked this meat, Beyond Meat, not Impossible Burger. That's what they call it, Impossible Burger. But we're going to get into the two differences. I'm just going to educate you guys just a little bit. Okay? So plant-based alternative, two companies, Impossible Foods, that's what it's called, Impossible Foods, and Beyond Burgers sell plant-based beef that has, and again, plant-based beef is just a double negative within itself. It doesn't make any sense, but okay. Plant-based beef that has become popular in supermarkets and in its restaurants. Impossible Foods created a plant-based beef made from soy protein that has the taste and texture like beef. The scientists at Impossible Foods created a plant-based ham through the fermentation of genetically engineered yeast that helps create that feel of traditional beef, okay? Now, I can contest for these Beyond Burgers. Beyond Burgers also looks and tastes like a beef burger and even bleeds like one. The protein comes from peas, rice, and mung bean, while the fat comes from canola oil, coconut oil, and cocoa butter. Both Impossible Burger and Beyond Burger have a rather long list of ingredients and vitamins and minerals that were added in order to have a similar nutrient composition of traditional beef. Okay, that's absolutely true. Okay, I've had both. I had Impossible beef, I want to say at a restaurant, and I had Beyond Burgers from restaurants and also at home because you can buy these products in the store. Now, the cool thing about both of these two products is that they're both moving into the Chinese market. Okay, but Beyond Beef is killing it. As you can tell right before your very eyes here, ladies and gentlemen, it is already up 5% this morning, okay? And yeah, we're going to get into the analyst ratings. You're going to see that the analyst ratings, I think, changed around 30-something, but I think that's going to change because, again, let's get into the time chart, okay? 5 years. Not even so. They just released back in May. But look at this. $25. If you wouldn't, and I really need to start getting on these things because I was eating Beyond Meat before they went public, okay? And I really didn't think too many people outside of Washington and Oregon were going to really buy into plant-based meats. I know there's a lot of people eating healthier foods, okay? And there's a great alternative, okay? It tastes like a real burger. You spruce it up, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, ketchup, mustard, mayo, however you like it. And it definitely tastes like beef. Don't overcook it, though. Don't overcook it. Then it tastes like cardboard, okay? It tastes like cardboard if you overcook it because they have the Beyond Meat burgers, the Beyond Meat crumbles, the Beyond Meat sausages. Don't overcook it, okay? But anyway, this came out at, little bit more over a year ago at $25 a share. Boom. It's now $147, $146 a share. I like to just pause for effect because it's quite ridiculous, okay? Over the year, it has been down less than 1% over 3 months. 5%, as you can tell, it's been kind of rocky, but nonetheless, you would have made a lot of money. 1 month, it's been up 15%. Last week, it was up 11%. I love that. And today, they are up 5.7%. All right, as you can tell, right after the market opened, I was doing research for from last night until this morning, and I invested. So I'm already down because look at how much it cost me. I came in at $271.98, and I did fractional investing. Okay, that's why you see 1.8 shares. Okay, I didn't buy 2. I just bought whatever I had in my buying power over here. I just invested that particular money. Okay, so it says 2.27% of my return, and hopefully this turns around for me because again they're making big moves in China. So let's read about these guys. It says Beyond Meat engages in the provision of plant-based meats. Its products include ready-to-cook meat under the brands the Beyond Burger and Beyond Sausage, and frozen meat, namely Beyond Chicken Strips and Beyond Beef Crumbles. Now, I've used the sausage, the burgers, and the crumbles. I've never had the Beyond Chicken Strips. Maybe good. All the other ones are good, but I actually cooked the Beyond Beef Crumbles. Don't overcook those, man. They're great in salads. They're great in tacos. They're great in everything. But if you overcook them beef crumbles, it tastes like wet cardboard. I'm telling you. Okay, but you season it like anything else. Okay, you season it just like real meat. The company was founded by Ethan Wilder Brown and Brent Taylor in 2009. It's headquartered in San Diego, California. Have you noticed there's a lot of companies, regardless of what it is, out of California? That's why it's so expensive to live in California. For some reason, whether you're an actor or an actress, a software engineer, an inventor, or a business, they just go to California. I have no idea. It's so expensive there. But the market in California for these things makes perfect sense because that whole western seaboard from Washington down to California, there's a lot of vegetarians, there's a lot of vegan, there's a lot of people eating alternative everything, okay? So the market on that side of the coast is absolutely huge, okay? The collections, 100 most popular, 2019 IPOs, California, of course, California, what I just said. I didn't even know this. Notice it's here. Food and drink. Okay, let's read some of the headlines here. Beyond Meat CEO says COVID-19 no obstacle as it expands in China. And it says, Bloomberg says, Impossible Food awaits China nod as Beyond Meat muscles in. They're like, oh, y'all in China? We're going in China. Okay, and here's a picture, Impossible Meat on the shelves there. Impossible Foods expands retail to Canada. Beyond Meat brings products to China. So Beyond Impossible Foods, unfortunately, is not public yet, but look for them to become public very soon, okay? Because it's going to China, it's going to Canada, and believe me, Beyond Meat is not going to go into Canada too. And believe it or not, there's a lot of Chinese people out there eating very, very healthy too. They're redacting, they're lessening and decreasing their amount of meats as well and using alternative meats. So that's another huge market. Let's just talk about the population, okay, of America at roughly 330 million. China has 3 times the amount at like 1.2, 1.3 billion people. So 3.5 times the amount of America. So even if, I don't know, 15 or 20% of them actually buy the product, this stock, the sales, they're going to skyrocket, okay? They're going to skyrocket because, again, in my household, we buy some of these products as well. We buy real meat and we buy plant-based meat, also known as fake meat. For some of you people like, man, that is fake meat. But anyway, the analysts are saying buy at 18%, hold at 50%, sell at 32%. Now, this is one of those rare occasions. This is one of those rare occasions because everybody knows my percentage here when it comes to the analyst ratings. I don't like when I see anything over 25%. I don't. I normally do not buy. This is a rare occasion for me to invest in a company that's over 25%. But I did give a disclaimer, okay? when I see companies start to innovate and move into different markets, especially a large market like China, then I have to think futuristically. I have to think long term when it comes to this investment. I may not make money, I may not make any money today or any money tomorrow, but I'm thinking in the next year or so, if I hold this position, I will be doing really, really well because the sales will pick up. Okay, because I've been to over 40 countries in the world, and let me tell you something. For some reason, I don't know if it's nostalgialistic or it's just a popular thing. When American products are in different countries, they sell pretty well. When I was in Korea, anything American sold pretty well. Or would it be skin products, which they're big in Korea because they have a lot of their own. Food products, fast food chains, they do primarily well in other countries. They love this American style things because we have to understand that world domination is built on the Western world. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to leave it like that and give you guys some time to ponder. All right, let's on this one. I usually do bulls. Let's say what the bears say. Let's see what could possibly happen that deters me from further investment in Beyond Meat. The competitive landscape in the PBM, plant-based meat market, is set to intensify significantly with the introduction of many new products from other established packaged food operators slated to hit shelves over the near term. Close to half of Beyond's 2019 revenue comes from the food service channel, which has been severely affected by COVID-19. And these pressures could persist in a more recessionary climate. Consumers have been shifted away from products with long ingredients lists, such as Beyond Fare, opting towards fresh, natural products, which could also limit ultimate demand. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Now, most products you're going to buy from Beyond Meat is going to be frozen. And again, we have to understand this is I want to say healthier, but definitely an alternative means of eating real meat because the consistency, the viscosity, the texture, the feel, everything about it tells me that is a real burger when I'm cooking in a pan, okay? The smell is slightly off than a real burger, okay? It's not the same burger smell, but you get the, Beyond Meat, if you smash it, you got the beet juice that comes out of it that's like blood. You get that kind of look. So everything about it, okay, the compositions and components of it looks like it's a real burger, looks like it's a real sausage. And it tastes like that as long as you season it well and you don't overcook it. I can't stress that enough. So if you're thinking about alternative products from meat, real meat, then you might want to give this a look. And I'm pretty sure you saw it in the grocery stores. And quite frankly, it's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad. All right, let's move on. Give me 1 second here. So let's move right along here. Earnings.
Sure. Turning off the studio light on.
Okay. The first quarter of 2019, did you see that it skyrocketed on Q2? See, if we go back up here to the line chart, we go back all the way back up here, we see how soon as it came out, listed on May the 2nd, 2019, and then by July, okay, let me go here. Let me see if I can get here. By July 2016, it was up $234. So right now, as you notice, I believe that I'm getting this stock at a discount. I believe that this stock, the reason why I'm investing in it, even though what the analysts are saying, I believe, based on my research and what they're going into, that this stock is undervalued. Okay, I believe that it's undervalued. It took a hit, just like any stock right here, dropped down to $57. And again, there's so many stocks listed on the different exchanges on the stock market, whether it be the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, or the New York Stock Exchange. I can't keep track. I can't lie to you guys, but this is one I definitely should invest in because, again, I eat the meat. Everything that you possibly put your hands on is tied into some corporation or organization that A, has a stock, B, is about to have a stock, or C, thinking about having a stock. And that's kind of a good indication that if you're using it and you know other people that's using it or eating it or has a membership of that service, you may want to think about investing in it because you found worth in it, you found value in it, then so be it. You might want to invest in it. Okay, let's move right along here. We talked about the bulls. Now here's my history. I showed you that. Here are the other markets. You got Uber, Slack, Netflix, Lyft. That has nothing to do with the Beyond Meat market. So I don't know what Robinhood is doing on that. Okay. Good old market watch. Here we go. So currently Beyond Meat is up roughly 6%, but 5.6. Okay, 5.6%. And as you can tell in the 52-week range, this is where I'm looking at right here, ladies and gentlemen. You see it at $48 to $167 within the last year. But of course, last year, July, was it July 26th we looked at? It was up $234 something. So we missed out on some large earnings. And as you can tell though, but year to date, it has it at 93%. Okay. So if you would have bought in the IPO, your stocks would have went up 93% if you were still holding on to it. I'm telling you, a lot of big investors or traders, okay, because I told you trading is more like gambling in a sense, but it's not gambling because you're going off like, you know, a bunch of budget seats, revenue, how much investors are finding value, how much they're actually putting inside the stock. So they will invest into the IPO. They'll buy thousands of shares, okay? And then they'll kind of watch how the market is moving. They would see how, you know, like this stock, once it got to 200 something and they started on a downtick, then they would sell it. But investors, we tend to hold on to our stocks longer. Now, there's value in that as well, but they did a study. Well, they didn't do a study, they did multiple studies, but they showed over the course of time that majority of investors, people who hold their stocks long term, the overall number that they make more money than people who are trading every day. And trading is simply selling or buying stocks in any form, whether it be options or regular stocks, okay? Let's move on. EPS, they're slightly operating out of debt, but that's nothing, you know, to blink your eye about. That's relatively low, okay, for a meat market. Let's see any headlines here. We talked about them jumping to the Chinese market. Impossible Food expands retail to Canada. We talked about that. Looking out for Impossible Meats if they ever become public. What else do we have here? I think that's pretty much it. We're going to look at some pictures though, okay? We're going to look at some pictures so you guys become familiar with this. And they also have recipes and stuff like that. And we're going to get a little bit into the ingredients because I want you guys to be familiar with this product, this particular product, before you actually go ahead and invest. Because you may also want to buy it, okay? They're talking about what proteins that they have in this. They got the peas, the mung beans, fava beans, the brown rice. No, I don't want to join. And then their fats, cocoa butter, coconut oil, and canola oil, okay? And you see that they're minerals. They got calcium, iron, salt, potassium chloride, and they broke it all down, okay? And then their flavors and color, they got beet juice extract, apple extract, and natural flavors. And then their carbs, potato starch, and then plant fiber derivative, okay? And they also have all these things. And it does look like this. It does look like this. It's absolutely delicious. I won't lie about that. And then if you don't know what you're doing, you're new to cooking, you're new to anything, like I told you, you cook this like anything else, okay? You cook this like anything else. And it actually tastes good. Now, I forgot what restaurant I was at, but one restaurant cooked the Beyond Burger. Man, that thing was delicious. It had plant-based cheese because you can buy plant-based cheese. We buy that too. The Gouda plant-based cheese, forgot the company that it's made by, but that's also delicious as well. It's not going to have a strong flavor of cheese, but it's going to have a flavor of the Gouda cheese. It's not going to be like, ooh, that's great Gouda cheese from a cow. No, it's going to be like, ooh, that's great Gouda cheese from a plant. That's how it's going to be, okay? And granted, again, this is a alternative to meat, and it is healthier, okay? They're making it out of plants, so it is healthier. But I don't know the processing that it goes through, but I'm still pretty sure it's healthier than eating real meat, okay? If you guys are trying to lose some belly fat like me, these are great products. And I'm not saying get off your regular meat. I'm just saying you might want to switch it out every now and again, okay? And here how it looks in the grocery store. You got the Beyond Meat sausage here. You got the Beyond Meat burgers, and here's the crumbles I was telling you guys. No, that's not the crumble. So the crumbles look like this. Like you can put it in spaghetti, you can put it in tacos, you can put it in salads. They got all sorts of stuff. Okay. Now that's not a Beyond Meat steak. Okay, that's not a Beyond Meat steak. And again, I definitely buy this product from Whole Foods, also known as Whole Paycheck. Okay. What else? Here's some sausage or like bratwurst, essentially. And they do have protein. Right there you see 16 grams of protein, okay? 16 grams of protein. All right. So that is Beyond Meat in a nutshell. And I think that it will become a good investment. Let's see who's in the chat room today. Already gave shout outs for Charles and Brother Man. Good morning, Nola Baptiste. I see that you're on your job, good sir. Thank you very much. We have El Kuje in the room. He says they got plant-based Beyond Chicken at the KFC up here in Canada. Oh, wow. So they're already up there in Canada as well. Now, he says Beyond Chicken Strip. So now I'm glad you confirmed that. So Beyond Meat is in Canada too. So they're in Canada, America, and China. And I'm telling you, if they get in India, buy that stock. I don't really strongly say, but I don't see anyone losing when you're in the Chinese market and you're in the Indian market, okay? That's all I'm going to say, because think about it like this. In India, as far as my knowledge, the cow is a sacred animal. So they don't really eat beef, okay? They eat chicken. I think they eat goat. They may eat sheep, okay? They eat meats like that. They don't really eat beef. So if you can come there with an alternative to beef, and if any of them were curious of how beef tastes, okay? Because curiosity, like I wonder how all these Americans eating cheeseburgers, all these people eating cheeseburger. Well, they got a plant-based burger that is made out of no meat. So guess what? I'm going to give me a plant-based burger. You know, that's going to fill that desire of theirs to go out and eat that. Let's see here. Brother Man says Black culture rules it all. Understand that. Miss Curly Girl, good morning. Haven't seen you in a while. Miss Curly Girl married. Did you get married? If so, congratulations. Thank you for, again, moderating for me. I appreciate that. Miss Curly Girl also says, I love Beyond Meat. She says Kroger's has Beyond Meat as well. And thank you. Thank you for putting my website out there. I don't think a lot of people actually understood that. Now, yesterday I did a video. And I said it was a compare and contrast from the video I did. I said, has anyone seen that Cardi B and Joe Biden video? But this one was, has anyone seen that Charlemagne the God and Joe Biden video? And I've been getting a lot of good comments from that. But every now and again, I get people who take things out of context. And it doesn't bug me, but it does bring a point up for discussion. Meaning that if you are so narrow-minded on your political views, then you are sheep, okay? You are a sheep, because I can herd you in to be slaughtered. You're like cattle. I can just put a little stick to your butt, put you into a little ranch holding, and I can slaughter you later. See, I think that we need to be wolves. We need to be wolves. We go out and we devour, but we work as a team. That don't mean that we think as a team, but we work as a team. But can't no sheep herder, can't no rancher just gather us up and put us in a confined space waiting for us to be slaughtered. Whereas though we need to be more like a wolf pack, even though we work as a team, but we have individual thought. Because every now and again, people from the wolf pack, like, I'm going to go over here and do my own thing. I'll be back, guys. We can go hunting later. But I think that's kind of the mindset that we need to have. And when I start talking about not attacking the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, if I go strongly on the Democratic Party, then someone says, well, you're Republican and you support Donald Trump. I don't know how people get there. I just don't know how people get there. I'm just thinking they're absentee, like their votes, absentee-minded, absentee voting, okay? But let's be more intelligent in our thought when we really criticize people who are on these platforms, giving us information, giving us their perspective and their biases, okay? Because anybody's perspective is biased, okay? But I'm neutral in the approach of politics. And I want to show you guys some information because anytime I talk about Obama, okay, anytime I talk about Obama, I'm slightly criticized. I'm not highly criticized, but I'm slightly criticized. But I like to back up my words because I don't like to give empty information without some sort of proof, okay? Because I was going to show this documentation how when Barack Obama was on the Tom Joyner show, and Tom Joyner asked him, how does it feel to be the first black president? And he basically said that I'm not black. Obama basically said he's not black, okay? There's a transcript out there. A buddy of mine sent it on my phone. I wish he would have emailed it to me, okay? Oh, it was my brother. My brother sent it to me. He sent it to me, and it's like this. I'm sorry. I was trying to get it to my computer. But nonetheless, let me see what it's. This is the international submission. I'm going to have to show you guys this in a later video. But there's some other information that I've been trying to show you guys little by little, not trying to give you a lot of information all at one time. I've been trying to tell you that America has the political power. They have the revenue and capital to absolutely give African Americans reparations, whether it be $800 per household or $50,000 per person. However you want to look at it, okay? However you want to look at it. Or reparations, not just in the form of money, not just in the form of a check, okay? Because some people are like, oh, you give everybody $50,000, you give everybody $800,000, you're going to have Pookie and Ray Ray go down to the nearest car shop and get an old school caddy and put 33 rims on them. And I'm like, so, because when everybody else get their reparations, they do whatever they want to do. Okay, people like myself, I'm gonna buy a business. I'm gonna buy some land. Okay, I'm investing in my people. But here's my thing: don't let it stop there. Reparations is just not money in your pocket, because we need to understand that we need to have reparations across the board. Okay, in our school systems, in the justice system of justice. When people say justice reform, some people use the term reconstruct. Some people use the term defund. I mean, all this information of all this police murders that's coming out. So that whole system needs to be reconstructed. Whatever term you want to use, place that word there. But the police, we all know, needs to be reformed, because that's another topic. But there has been multiple presidents that's been giving different people in America reparations throughout the course of time. I'm going to briefly talk about the Native Americans, very briefly, because, again, I'm not hating on anyone who got theirs. The only thing I'm saying is here are examples, ladies and gentlemen, of people getting reparations in America from American presidents that people that look like you and I have not received. When I mean people that look like you and I, let me get a little more detail. Foundational Black Americans, aka American descendants of slaves. Let's just keep it real. Because there's a lot of people from other countries that look like us, but they came from their countries and some of them were colonized, so they need to fight for reparations for those countries that, colonized them, enslaved them, free labor as well, okay? So they need to fight for reparations for their country. So I'm talking about us, okay? This is about us right now. So let me show you something that you probably did not know. First and foremost, you guys may not have been aware of Obama signing what they call the Blue Shield Alert, okay? Obama signs Blue Creating Blue Alert. This is back in 2015. It says President Obama on Tuesday signed a bill that would create a national alert system to help authorities find people who kill, injure, or make imminent threats against the police. And this was all back, it was a bipartisan, of course. Of course, it's going to be bipartisan. It's named after Wing John Liu and Rafael Ramos, two New York Police Department officers who shot and killed in their squad car. Okay, so these guys went out, whoever did this, they murdered these cops. Now, I don't know the reasons behind that. I don't believe any loss of life is good. Contrast. Where's the Black Shield law at? That anybody, any police officer, any law enforcement that goes out and killed an unarmed black person, gets shot in the back, Jacob Blake, who is put a bag around their head in New York, 7 policemen, and suffocated a man till he was brain dead and got killed. Where's the Black Shield law? I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to move on. Okay? Listen to this. Oh, yeah, we're going to read this one, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of y'all didn't know this, okay, about your first black president. Again, I voted for Obama twice, but information and wisdom and the evolution of our mind is freedom. Obama administration earmarks $12 million for Holocaust survivors. Now, a lot of you are going to get into the point that someone presented this through Congress and it was voted on and it got passed. That's what you guys are going to say. Right here, I'm going to read the fine print. The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum honors the victims of the Holocaust and Nazi persecution at the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Now, we already know what happened to African Americans and blacks in slavery across the world. Whether there were slaves in Brazil, the Caribbean, Dominican Republic, Haiti, the UK, the United States, Mexico, India, China, etc. There was slavery everywhere. A lot of guys don't just think that slavery was in the United States. Just don't think that slavery was in the UK. Don't just think slavery was in Brazil. It was in China and India as well. They had black African slaves there as well. Just do your research, okay? Now, these people went through their own tragedies. They went through their own just total murder over there in Germany, okay? When the Nazi, I think it was the Third Reich, that came in with Hitler and killed all these Jewish people, okay? They went through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and I'm not taking anything away from their struggle. Again, this is about people getting reparations from the American government that black people was promised and never got. The Obama administration has awarded $12 million for assistance to Holocaust survivors. The allocation from the Department of Health and Human Services to the Jewish Federation of North America. Now, the Holocaust happened where? The Holocaust happened where? Excuse me. In Germany, in Europe. Okay, you with me? It says to be dispersed over 5 years. It's part of an initiative launched in the late 2013 by Vice President Joe Biden. By Vice President Joe Biden. And I want you guys to go out and look at my video from yesterday. Look at my video from yesterday. I said, have you guys seen that video with Charlemagne the God and Joe Biden? Go watch that video and you're going to see what I'm getting at. You're like, oh, okay. I got it now. Exactly. Okay. So Vice President Joe Biden to address the needs of survivors in the United States, a quarter of whom live below the poverty line. Excuse me. A quarter of whom live below the poverty line. Out of the 40 million Americans, how many out of the 40 million of African Americans, black Americans, how many of us live below the poverty line? How much you want to bet that is more than a quarter? Stay with me. Again, this is not taking anything away from the atrocities that these people occurred. No, this is compare and contrast to our struggle as well when it comes to tangibles and money. Combined with the matching private funds, the approximate $2.5 million per year over the 5 years will support $4.1 million in programming annually for organizations that help Holocaust survivors. According to the JFNA, again, that's the Jewish Federation of North America, okay? The JFNA. The funds will be used to advance. What does advance mean? When someone gives you an advance or an advantage. See, advance is the root word for advantage. So now you have an advantage. You have been advanced. Stay with me. The words are all here. The words are powerful, okay? Will be used to advance innovation and personal-centered trauma-informed supportive services. Trauma, okay? How much money you guys want to bet that African Americans are traumatized for us living in this country in the way that race soldiers, white supremacists, racism, white domestic terrorists treat us, kill us, torture us in this country, that we also need trauma support services as well for our mental instability? Okay, I'll move on. I'm going to read a little bit more. We're done. With this award, we will be able to advance our efforts to provide crucial services to vulnerable survivors, including those living in poverty. Those living in poverty. Here's the kicker. This is very important. This paragraph right here. Now, you got the poverty, you got the advancement. These are our mothers and fathers, our teachers and our mentors, he said. They deserve to live their remaining years in dignity, and this award will help them with that reality. Their mothers, fathers, teachers, and mentors to live their remaining years in dignity. In dignity. You think black people are living in dignity? No. We're living in ghettos. Where did America get that term ghettos? From Hitler. Holler at your boy. Now, that was Obama again. Here's Obama again. Another form of reparations for the Native Americans. Again, I'm not hating. Everybody who get theirs. But again, compare and contrast. Obama conserved 1.3 million acres in Utah. Let's read a little bit about this. In the final days of 2016, President Barack Obama made a final addition to the conserved lands of the United States. He brought Bears Ears National Monument into existence, designating a newly federal protected area of more than 1.3 million acres in southeast Utah. The park, Obama said, was chosen not only for its beauty, but his proclamation spoke of deep sandstone canyons, desert mesas, and meadow mountaintops, but for its importance to local Native American tribes. For its importance to local Native American tribes. The Navajo, the Hopi, the Utu, and the Zuni, I'll mess up some of these names, excuse me. No disrespect to the Native Americans. All hold the site as sacred. As I wrote at the time, it was immediately controversial. Republican leaders in Utah have long said they wanted to protect the area too. Oh, bipartisan, okay? Though they wanted to avoid the more stringent requirements imposed by the national monument status, they had warned Obama against casting Bears Ears as a national monument, which they view as an abuse of federal power. So basically he's saying because of the nature of this deal, the nature of reserving this land, it was showing abuse of federal power. I wish he would have abused federal power and gave African Americans something, okay? African Americans something. Yeah, Obama was the United States of America's president. I understand that. And he needed to do things for everybody. But why is it he picked and chose, just like every other president, pick and chose who they were going to give certain reparations to? I'm going to read on. I'm not preaching. But by unilaterally locking up 1.35 million acres as an area roughly the size of the entire state of Delaware. So he gave them an entire state. Okay. The president has misused his authority, said Gary Herbert, the state's Republican governor. The governor said of Utah said he misused his power. Native leaders, meanwhile, responded in jubilation. It actually brought tears to my face, said Eric DeShaney, a member of the Navajo Nation and a congressman in the Arizona House of Representatives. It's so hard to even try to add up what this really means. If someone gave you 40 acres, I think it would have brought you to jubilation and tears, and you probably couldn't sum up what that really means. Because he said again, it's so hard to even try to add up what this really means. At the end of the day, there's only a certain place in the entire world on earth where we as indigenous people belong, he said, of Bears Ears. I'm done. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have for you today. I just wanted to give you guys some insight about reparations and what the fight is all about, because there's a lot of viewers out there who like, hey, you know, you guys shouldn't give reparations because of taxes. Let me tell you something. If you don't know history, if you don't know what's going on, please read and research. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired, and go eat you a juicy plant-based burger, okay? You guys have a great day. I'm out.